It is time for some real education, and this real education is an homage, the title of it, to Jake Jacobs, one of our dear friends, and a very articulate, critical voice against this kind of left-wing lunacy. He actually wrote a book called Mobocracy. And looking in the news today, we look around the country and we see that it is mobs. It is mobs of people, small groups of revolutionaries who are using violence and disobedience and vandalism and arson to get their way. And so we want to use Mobocracy as the title of our instant classic this week. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at some great quotes and comments down through history about mobs and why mobs are so effective at being so destructive. It's amazing how long ago they knew this about mobs. The ancient Greeks knew it very well. In fact, the Greeks, all the ancient peoples, but the Greeks in particular, were very, very, very unimpressed by mob behavior. They knew that mobs themselves were anarchy. How about this great quote from Diogenes talking about what the foundation of education is? Diogenes wrote, "The foundation of every state is the education of its youth." Think about what that means for Baltimore, as we just said. What does it say about the United States? If the foundation of every state is how we educate our kids, and 41% of all Baltimore school kids are getting a D or below, what does that say about us? That gives rise to the next quote. The mob is the mother of tyrants. Those kids who can't read, can't write, yet who have been told it's not their fault, that their ignorance is the result of racism and cultural supremacy and white supremacy. What do you think is going to happen to those kids who can't look after their own families, who can't get jobs, who are qualified to do nothing because the public schools refuse to educate them? When those kids turn out into the streets with high school diplomas that mean nothing, they're prime picking for idiot groups like Antifa and Black Lives Matter. The mob is the mother of tyrants. And how about the great Roman historian Polybius, who understood as well as anybody the absurdity of allowing civilization to be overturned by mobs? Quote, "For the mob, habituated to feed at the expense of others and to have its hopes of a livelihood in the property of its neighbors, as soon as it has got a leader sufficiently ambitious and daring, being excluded by poverty from the sweet civil honors, produces a reign of mere violence." All mobs. Look at Antifa. Someone else is paying for them. Someone else is feeding them. They expect to grow rich. We hear the phrase from Antifa, "eat the rich," right? We're going to burn it all down. We're going to throw civilization into chaos so we can take from the rich people that which belongs to us. But you know what always happens, Polybius says? Sooner or later, some slick huckster like, Patrisse Cullors and the leadership of Black Lives Matter comes and co-opts the movement, takes all that money to themselves, and leave the mob just as poor and stupid as it was before. When you're buying 4 houses, Patrisse, even though you're against capitalism, when you're building a big fence around your Hollywood mansion, even though you believe in open borders, the hypocrisy and the justice of what Polybius just wrote is true.